Hello everyone, I am back. So today I'm finishing my polymer clay pins. I'm actually applying a Mod Podge on top of them before I decide to put the UV resin on them. This is technically my first set ever of polymer clay anything, and I'm very happy that I got to do pins. I actually followed a YouTube, kind of just watched a couple YouTube's videos of how to make these polymer clay pins, and I kind of just went from there. I really enjoyed doing this. It was very fun. I did not expect to enjoy polymer clay so much, but I'm very happy to have this new art form in my life now, and I can't wait to make more polymer clay pins, and I'm even thinking of doing polymer clay earrings. So as you can see, I'm spreading out the UV resin on each polymer clay pin with a little brush. I used a cheap brush that I have because I have worked with two-part resin before, and if it's the same as if UV resin is the same as two-part resin, I know it gets very messy and it's usually really hard to clean the brushes. So this is actually just a brush from one of those like Crayola type paint sets. I had one in my paintbrushes probably from a long time ago, so I thought might as well use this in case the bristles get damaged. But after cleaning it, it did not seem as harsh as two part resin. But hey, didn't hurt for me to be safe, and it was actually very easy to spread the UV resin, as you can see. So this does go on for quite some time, but we do have one more, and it's the witch hat. Out of these pins, I would have to say the witch hat, the zombie candy corn, and the ghost would have to be my top three. Um, which is really funny because I don't like to eat candy corn. I think it is very cute aesthetically and I love the colors, but eating it is not my ideal thing. Afterwards, I actually put these under a UV resin light. I bought one for $12 on Amazon. It's one for nails. So I did learn that I could have bought maybe a stronger one. This one did take longer for the UV resin to actually cure, and I had to leave it on for about 15 to 20 minutes, even though actually I would say like 20 to 30 minutes. Even though the instructions say that they could cure within like 4 to 5 minutes under a UV light. So I definitely learned something there. I'll probably invest in a stronger UV light later on, but since this is my first time working with polymer clay and UV resin, I thought, hey, might as well try to save some money and get the slightly cheaper UV light. So, like I said, this does continue for some time. So, I am gonna let y'all watch the timer here while, we just listen to some music. Alright, so now that the timer has passed and our pieces have cured, I did end up having to flip them over. I made sure that everything was ready for me to go ahead and add the pins onto the back of these polymer clay figures that I made. So I just pretty much rearranged them. I took out the pins ahead of time, and then I just wanted to make sure that they were fully cured and fit in there because they're gonna have to cure after I super glue and then add more UV resin. So I went ahead and just super glued those pieces on right in the middle. I noticed that super glue dried extremely fast on polymer clay, so I had to be very careful on how I set these. And then also realized that maybe I should take the backings off and just do the pins by themselves. just to make sure that everything's nice and tight and I don't accidentally pull it while trying to pull off the backing. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I decided one pin for mostly all of them, except for two of them. I did decide to put two pin backings on the pumpkin and on the moon because those are the bigger and thicker pins. Well, the pumpkin is thicker, the moon is bigger. So I decided to put two of each. As you can see, the pumpkin ones are more side angled just because I I actually put by Sparkling Punk or made by Sparkling Punk on the back there, so I wanted to make sure that that was visible. So afterwards, I'm just pretty much showing y'all how they turned out. They are very nice and tight. I absolutely fell in love with this, and I definitely feel that the UV resin helped them look absolutely amazing. Acrylic paint dried can look super different, but once you add the UV gloss on it, it's just like, wow, yeah, that finish was perfect. You can't really tell if it's going to be amazing until you actually add that final finish, and I always want to jump to the final finish. So now I'm actually adding UV resin onto the back of the pin right there on top because I want to make sure that this is completely cured and secure. So not only with the super glue, but also with UV resin to give it little an extra little like caution, like, okay, just in case. And now I am curing that, so that is also going to take us a little bit of time. Alright, so the back of our pin's finally cured, and as you can see, I'm just twirling the pin, making sure that everything is nice and cured. I absolutely love how these turned out, and I'm having a lot of fun twirling these. It's pretty much just testing to make sure that the backings are nice and secure, and they were. So now it's time to take some product photos. Normally I do product photos separately in a different video, but since I was already working on these, I said might as well. And actually, the night that I did these, I actually had to put them up that very night because this was the night of my shop update launch, and this was the very last thing I had left to do, but I was waiting for the UV resin to come in the mail as well as the UV light because it was not sunny at all. You could cure these in the sun, but it had not been sunny for days, so I just had to go ahead and buy the UV light. So now I'm putting them on my backing cards. I absolutely love these backing cards. I designed them myself and I got them printed by Vistaprint. I always love printing with Vistaprint, but I know there's also other amazing companies. I have also found Banner Buzz, I think that's what it's called, and I ordered my vinyl banner for my convention booth from them, recommended by Kawaii Art Cafe, and they do sell business cards, so I actually might order from them next time to see if I might like their business cards slash backing cards a little bit better. And they're also a little bit more affordable because Vistaprint has certain coupons out, but with Banner Buzz I noticed that the pricings are always very affordable. So the only awkward one was this moon. It kind of looked like a banana because I had to put it to the side, but I honestly thought, hey, these fit perfectly, and I don't know how I got these spot on, but I did do like a little test before I even finished making the clay portion, just to make sure that they would fit well on my backing cards. So now I'm putting some confetti around. I always love putting a little confetti around my pieces to make it look really nice and aesthetically pleasing. After adding the confetti, as you can see, I am using my Google Pixel 5. I absolutely love my phone for taking product pictures. I actually used to use a Canon camera and I would take raw images and edit them, but since I got this phone, I felt that it was so much easier just to take product photos with my cell phone because it autocorrects the colors for you and you could easily crop it into a square format, which is what is normally required or looks best when it comes to listing photos. And I thought it was just absolutely easy. You just gotta angle the camera at a certain way. And also it eliminates me having to put these into Photoshop because that can be a very exhausting and tiring process. So editing on my Google Pixel 5 is absolutely amazing. And like I said, I did have to list these this very night. I believe it was about 10:45 or so when I finished this, and my launch for my shop update was gonna be going on at 12 a.m. On January 1st, 2021. So I had to make sure that all these product photos were up and ready, and having them on my cell phone makes it a lot easier because they actually get uploaded to Google Photos since I do have a Google phone, and then I could just automatically download them onto my computer and then post them on Etsy without any complications. I did have to put some washi tape behind the moon because it was a lot bigger and it had multiple pins, so it wouldn't stay up straight by itself. Then I decided to go ahead and spread out all the pins in like a nice little format to take a complete product photo, since they would be just in one listing but listed separately within the listing, if that makes sense. So I went ahead and spread them out and put them in multiple rows. I put them in just a manner that I felt very pleased with for myself. I did notice I was missing one of them. How could I miss the witch hat, right? It's one of my favorites. And I started editing this and realized, oh, I am missing one. But I didn't realize that until afterwards, once I started taking photos of individual pins. And you'll see that right now. I started taking a photo of the zombie candy corn pin, and then I was like, okay, I think I'm missing another one. But as you can see, it's really easy for me to crop it. There's a square version there to just go ahead and crop as a square. I then added the witch hat and decided to retake the photo one more time because I wanted to make sure to have a photo with all of them listed, not just the other ones with the witch hat missing, because the witch hat is absolutely amazing. I actually did not decide to keep any of these pins for myself. I know most people do, but I definitely wanted to sell them, especially for them being my first polymer clay pins, and them coming out as good as they did. I'm absolutely obsessed. So all the product photos tend to be the same as of right now. I do get a little creative and think, what else do I want to do? So the way I decided to get creative is by keeping the other pins in the background, because my phone ends up focusing the main object in the middle and then kind of ends up blurring out the background, but it gives it a really nice aesthetic, and I really liked that. So I'm gonna let y'all watch the rest of the product photos that I'm taking and editing. After taking my product photos, I decided to go ahead and package them in these poly bags. So I am individually packaging them super nicely because I am going to take another product photo with them in their baggies, um, because I want them to see how they're going to come packaged. I don't include everything else that I include because I do include freebies like bookmarks and complimentary sticker to go with it. But oh, and a thank you card. But I did want to go ahead and make sure they were already packaged, and because I do work full-time on top of this, it does make it a lot easier for me when it comes to packaging orders. So for many that don't know, I do work a normal 7 a.m. to 3:30, sometimes a 4 p.m. job. So I do all my business stuff after work, and it makes it a lot easier for me just to grab and go. This pretty much sums up this studio vlog. I hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!